lesson, I am going to teach you about the sum and the product of quadratic roots. But before that, let's investigate muna the relationship of the coefficient and the roots of quadratic equations. Let's investigate if they really have a relationship. Ang sabi kasi, the sum of the roots ng quadratic equation equal daw siya dito sa negative b over a. As we all know, negative b over a, b and a, these are the coefficients of quadratic equations, di ba? Ax squared plus bx plus c, yun, si b and si a, coefficient siya ng quadratic equations. Yung product naman daw ng roots equal dito sa c over a. Okay? So let's prove if this is true. Right here, right now. Okay? So let's say we have a quadratic equation and we will get the roots of the quadratic equation. Let's say that quadratic equation is this. X squared minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. So this quadratic equation, I can solve this using completing the square, using factoring, and using the quadratic formula. But the very convenient method for me in solving this is the factoring, by factoring, okay? So I'm going to solve this. I'm going to factor this trinomial. And I guess the factor is quantity x minus 5 times quantity x plus 3. Okay. If you want to check if the factors are correct, you can use a FOIL method. Okay. So, I kind of sure na this is the factors because I'm looking at your modules and at the same time, I am the one who created this given. And then, now that we have our factors, we can now equate this separately to 0. So, equate natin sila pareho sa 0. Kasi kadalasan ang mga quadratic roots, as we all know, dalawa. Kadalasan ha, I'm not saying na always, pero kadalasan. So in this one, the root is 5. In this one, the root is negative 3. Okay? Okay, burahin na natin lahat. Hindi, pero yung given na equation. Ayan. So, susulat ko lang yung roots. Okay? Yung unang root niya ay 5 ng quadratic equation na to. Yung pangalawang root niya is negative 3. Ayan, I'm gonna erase this. Now naman, okay, move lang natin to. List natin yung coefficients nitong quadratic equation. So, si A is 1, si B is negative 2, si C is negative 15. Okay? And then, let's prove if this really works. Okay? If they have a relationship with each other, the coefficients and the roots. By what po? Substitute po natin. No? Tingnan natin kung magiging equal. So, si root 1 is 5 plus root 2 is negative 3 is equal to negative b, negative times quantity negative 2, kasi negative 2 yung b, all over a, 1. Plus yung product ng dalawang roots mo. Okay? Is equal to c over a. Here c is negative 15. Okay? Over 1. So, mukhang hindi kasha. Lipat natin ito dito. Hindi. Lipat ko siya dito. Okay? And now that we have this, tingnan natin kung magiging equal sila. Kasi actually, mas mapapadali yung pag-solve ng sum and product natin kung ito lang yung gagamitin nating formula. Kasi kapag kinuha pa natin yung roots, tatagal. Kasi ang dami pang method na pagdadaanan. Okay? So, 5 plus negative 3, the answer is 2. Okay? 2 is equal to negative times negative 2. The answer is 2 over 1. Okay? Or simply 2. Ayan, nag-equal sila. So, sa sum, mayroon talaga silang relasyon. Okay? Yung roots and yung coefficient, meron talagang relationship. Sa sum, kasi, pansin nyo, nag-equal yung sagot. How about sa product? So, 5 times negative 3, that is negative 15. Negative 15 over 1 is equal to negative 15. Ito din nag-equal. Therefore, in terms of product, may relationship din yung roots ng quadratic equations and yung coefficients niya. Therefore, ang saya kasi pwede na nating hindi kunin yung roots ng quadratic equation and i-add them para makuha yung sum of the roots. Or kunin yung quadratic roots and i-multiply din para makuha yung product of the roots. We can just simply use these formulas in getting the sum and product of the roots. Hindi na natin kailangan kunin yung roots nila ng quadratic equation tapos i-add para makuha natin yung sum. Hindi na natin kailangan kunin yung roots para i-multiply para makuha natin yung product ng roots. We can simply identify the value of the coefficient and substitute using these two formulas. Okay? So, madami akong binigay na equations dyan sa module ninyo. And let's solve for the sum and product of those equations. So, let's say, this is example number 1. 2x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. Just like a while ago, no? Yung naunang lesson, which is nature of quadratic roots, no? Kailangan din dito is naka-standard form. Kasi we will be identifying the values of the coefficient. So a is 2, b is negative 1, c is negative 6. So for us to solve the sum, we will use the formula negative b over a. For us to solve the product, okay, product of the roots to and sum of the roots, we will be using the formula c over a. Alam niyo yun, kanina, sa naunang lesson, kahit hindi tayo nagsasolve ng quadratic roots, we know what will be the type of roots na lalabas without solving it. Kung real number ba siya, kung imaginary number ba siya, di ba? Sa nature of quadratic roots. Dito naman, we can identify the sum of quadratic roots and the product of quadratic roots without actually solving for the roots. So it is quite amazing, no? Especially sa mga nagde-derive ng formulang ganito. They are very amazing for me. So now, finding the sum of quadratic roots, substitute lang natin yung values ng coefficient. So, negative, your b is negative 1, your a is 2. Negative times negative 1, that is 1 over 2. Ang sum mo ngayon ay 1/2. Ganun lang siya kadali. Alam mo yan, wala kang sinolve na quadratic roots, pero alam mo na kapag pinag-add mo yung dalawang roots ng quadratic equation na yan, the answer is 1/2. Diba? Amazing. How about this, the product? So, C is negative 6 now. A is 2. Negative 6 over 2, the answer is negative 3. The same as the product. No? Without solving the roots, the quadratic roots, you know that if you multiply those roots, the answer is negative 3. Without solving the roots. Okay? So, yan. The sum is 1/2, and then the product of the roots is negative 3. Another example, let's say we have 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. It is already in a standard form, okay, of quadratic equations. Therefore, wala na tayong gagawin. I-identify lang natin yung value ng coefficients. So, A is 5, B is 3, C is negative 1. To compute for the sum, again, of the quadratic roots, use the formula negative b over a. For the product of quadratic roots, use the formula c over a. And now, substitute na natin. Negative, your b is 3, over A5. Therefore, yan na. Negative 3 over 5 yung sum. The product is negative 1 over 5. Yan na ngayon yun. Without solving the quadratic roots, you know that if you add them, those roots that you did not solve, you will come up with negative 3 over 5 as their sum and negative 1 over 5 as their product. Pero hindi mo naman talaga alam kung ano yung dalawang roots na yun. Pero alam mo yung sum and product nila. Quite amazing. Okay? Another example, and last example. Okay? So let's say we have 3x squared is equal to 5x plus 8. I forgot to tell you na as much as possible, the quadratic term must be always a positive, okay? Kung halimbawa nandito siya, siya kung halimbawa, paano ba to? Halimbawa ay, ayan, itong example na to. Hindi ba, ang hassle kung dalawang term yung i-move natin to the left side of the equation. Pwede namang si quadratic term yung i-move natin sa right side ng equation kasi isa lang naman siya, okay? Pero sabi ni teacher, as much as possible, positive dapat siya. Okay? Kung maging negative naman siya, kailangan niya siyang i-transpose. Tapos, kailangan yung linear and constant term yung sumusunod sa kanya. Okay? Sila yung mag-a-adjust, in short. Si linear and si constant term. So, dito, imbis na yung quadratic term yung itatranspose natin, kasi isa lang siya, di ba? Madali lang siya i-transpose on the right side of the equation. Ang itatranspose natin, ang mag-a-adjust, itong dalawa. Si linear and then si constant term. Pupunta sila doon sa left side ng equation. So, 3x squared 5x transpose to the left side will be negative 5x, and then 8 will be transposed on the left side of the equation. It will become negative 8 equal to 0. Ayan ngayon, naka-standard form na siya. And wala pong pinagkaiba yung ganyang equation. Okay? This is just the same. Kung alam niyo yung symmetry property, yan yun. No? Parang sinabi ko na lang din na x is equal to 1 is the same as 1 is equal to x. Ganun lang. Ganun lang siya. Kayong malilito doon. And then, ayan, naligaw na tayo ng naligaw. So, the values of A, B, and C are yung A mo is 3, yung B mo is negative 5, yung C mo is negative 8. Formula for the sum of the roots is negative B over A. For the product of the roots, the formula is C over A. So now substituting the given, you have negative times the quantity negative 5 over A. Negative times negative 5, it will become 5 over 3. So the sum of the roots is 5 over 3. The product is negative 8 over 3. Okay? Fraction po ang kailangan ni ma'am na sagot. Hindi na siya kailangang i-divide. It will become decimal and it will confuse someone or some classmates nyo. So, pag nakakuha kayo ng fraction na sagot, that's it. Okay? As much as possible, we aim for a fraction as an answer, not a decimal. Okay? So, that concludes our lesson regarding the sum and the product of quadratic roots.